What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dag Life Podcast here at the D Nagler Group in San Diego. I have a super unique and special guest joining me today, a wonderful wife, mother, and realtor, Ms. Jackie Gonzalez. How are you?
Doing good, thanks.
Doing well?
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Talk to me. Why are you nervous?
Just because this is really weird for me.
A little different?
Yeah, different, not what I'm used to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like talking in front of cameras, so.
I know, right? A lot of people don't, and I used to be the same way. And I think the more and more I've done it, it's taken me out of my shell, so to speak. And I'm a big extrovert. Like, it's easy for me to get along with people as it is with you. It's just something that's different, right?
Yeah.
That comfort zone perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just mentioned something to me a little bit ago before we jumped on. What is something you've been focusing on this year as a whole?
Just doing stuff that makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. And so outside of this, what other things have you done this year that you're like, I know this is going to be uncomfortable, but it's something that I really should do?
Yeah, well, just starting real estate has been one of the biggest ones. Yeah, I think that really, going to my first open house and just waiting for people to walk in and talk to them. That alone has been hard. Making cold calls, things like that. Yeah.
And it's just taking the first step. It's jumping off the ledge and just knowing that you're going to grow wings on the way down and learn how to fly, right? As corny as that sounds, I think it holds true to a lot of things. So since you just got into real estate this year, let's kind of start there, right? Let's tell me a little bit about your journey into real estate and what that process has been like.
Yeah. So basically, I was in law before. I was a paralegal in downtown, and I loved it. But I had my son, and the schedule is just not flexible. Okay. So I wanted to work from home. They didn't let me, so I quit my job. And then I started doing court reporting from home, which I really loved. But then I wasn't also getting the income that I wanted. So I work with, I'm related to Fabio Ortega, which is like, obviously.
He's aight.
He's
He's aight.
He's aight. He's pretty good at what he does. And I was literally at his baby shower, and I said, hey, like, if I do real estate, will you like hold my hand and like walk me through it and help me? He's like, yeah, for sure. Come to my team, check it out, see if you like it. And yeah, like the rest is history basically. I've been doing it. Got my license last year. Took me like 6 months, and then started officially this year.
And you're fucking shining.
Thank you.
You're thriving.
Thanks.
And it's amazing to see. I think we spent a lot of time together, right? Especially from like the Thursdays that we've had together with the crew. Yeah. And one thing that I'm prideful of and something that's super fulfilling to me is just seeing the growth in every agent. And trust me, it's there, leaps and bounds. Obviously, that's typically how it goes. However, it takes a special person to take the ball and run with it and execute. And you've done a tremendous job. So I'm proud of you on that.
Thanks.
So you're welcome. In terms of like your transition, what would you say has been like the most difficult challenge getting into something so new?
I think, obviously, like I have my son, so that's one of the biggest things is like scheduling, like making sure that I have time for him, but also like making sure that I prioritize my business too. Right. And also just weekends, like giving up weekends has been rough because I always said my whole life I'm never going to work on a weekend, but here I am.
But it's a price we pay for trying to live the utmost life that we want, right? So where 5-10 years down the road, you can take off for a month at a time with your
Exactly,
family, right?
Yeah. And during the week, I'm really flexible. I'm home like 2 days a week with my son, which is what I wanted, is to be able to be home with him and spend time with him.
How old is he now?
He'll be 3 in November.
3. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's exciting. So, and it's something that we talk about a lot, right? Most of the people on our team that are crushing it are mostly women.
Yeah, and moms.
And moms, that's my point, right? Yeah. So, and you're probably now the 10th or 11th person that's been on the show, and we talk often about it, is that balance is not easy. It's very difficult. Women don't receive enough of the gratitude that they deserve in terms of the positions they're in, of being mothers and wives and realtors and balancing the whole family work lifestyle, right? Not to say that fathers don't earn their flowers as well, but it's just something special about a woman who can obviously manage and handle every component of that.
Yeah.
What has your process been like trying to manage to the best of your ability what that looks like between work and home?
I think that I have a great partner. Yeah. I think when I'm home, I do as much as I possibly can, but when my husband takes over on the weekends or whenever I have to go show in the afternoon or things like that, he takes over. He basically becomes mom.
Power to him.
Yeah, so he does the cleaning, he does the cooking, and he takes care of the baby.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
I appreciate that. And I also have, my parents who live really close by. my brother and my sister-in-law who live close by as well, and they're always willing to help. So that's yeah, I appreciate
support.
So a supportive surrounding is huge, right? Especially living in San Diego.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different. Obviously with where you're at now, right? What would, and you're obviously early in the game still in terms, but you're leaps and bounds ahead of most realtors that have only been in it for 8 months. What has been like the best experience or best lesson that you've learned to this point?
Not letting emotions lead. Yeah.
Elaborate on that, because we know how deep that one can go.
Yeah, that one, I'm very emotional just as a human being in general. And I would cry when people would cancel on me, when people would say they didn't want to work with me anymore. So learning how to take rejection gracefully, learning to work harder, because if somebody cancels on you, obviously you're thinking about your income, right? And you're just like, oh man, like I was so close and then I didn't get it. So I probably would just say, just go out and get more clients. It won't hurt if you have other people that you're working with. So going out, getting more clients and working harder, kind of, I feel like going through those experiences where people would cancel on me and things like that kind of gave me more like a callous, where I'm just like, you know what, like who cares, next.
It's helping you grow thick skin.
Exactly.
Right? In the game of real estate, whatever your circumstances, you have to be able to take a rejection. It's kind of like me on a Friday, Saturday night. It's around the clock. You gotta get used to it and roll with the punches, and sooner or later you're gonna get a yes.
Yeah.
And we talk about it all the time, right? And we learned this from Sharon a long time ago, is your best solution for losing a client is having another one ready to go.
Exactly.
So if there's those realtors that they work and baby one client or one transaction at a time. When that client's gone, you're unemployed, right? So I think it's a great lesson for everyone to learn, is you have to have that pipeline built. And that pipeline is built through relationships and actually applying and executing, which again, like I said, you've done a tremendous job at. In terms of, kind of the experiences you've been through, what's one of the toughest lessons that you've learned in real estate specifically?
I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to the same thing of just like learning that like not everybody's for you. Like I'm very a people pleaser type of person. I want everybody to love me.
It's like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, what did I do wrong? Like, yeah, that's how I am, like an abandoned puppy. So like literally I'm just like learning that not everybody's for you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And learning that you like will find your people, and the best people are like the people who love you and want to work
100%.
with you.
And at the same time, there's going to come times where you're going to feel it's off and you're going to let a client go, or you're going to fire them, right? It happens. We've all done it to this point. I've only been in it for 3.5 years now, but I've gotten rid of plenty of my clients. Not in a negative way, but it's like, hey, it's just not working.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in real estate, you've only been on DAG. I'm the same way. Super biased about DAG, right? Love the family. It's everything I've ever wanted in what a team leadership looks like. Obviously, you had a different in, right? You obviously knew Fabio. What was it about visiting DAG where you were like, this is home for me?
I think that I didn't feel, because all I knew about real estate was like selling sunset. That's just reality. That's all I knew. And the way realtors came off and like from what I know before real estate was just kind of like stuck up kind of image, really like, all about themselves.
Sleazy.
Yeah, I mean,
fake.
Kind of, yeah. But like the thing is, when I got here, it was like the fact that everybody was just super welcoming, kind. I never felt like that. I never got that vibe from anybody. Like literally everybody was nice. Yeah. Yeah, and I still feel that way. Like I don't have beef or drama with anyone on the team. Like everyone's great.
You can share. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Nobody's fake. So far, and so like I feel like everybody's been really, really nice, and welcoming.
I agree, and I think obviously myself and Gil being at the forefront of it when we speak with people potentially interested in joining the team is one, we make it very clear what to expect, so one, there aren't any surprises, but two, if you do come in with that kind of fake bullshit, you'll be out in a heartbeat. And I think we've done a pretty good job at being able to spot that, and we don't necessarily focus on what our agent's producing to join the team. It's more so the person, right? It's why we are totally fine with hiring agents that are newly licensed or brand new like yourself, because we obviously pride ourselves as a team from a culture perspective to where we know the training and support's going to be there to drive the business eventually, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of where our focus lies, and it's been pretty exciting to see the team grow. where you're projected to go, and obviously making real estate a career for yourself. What is something that you're looking forward to the rest of the year, or kind of like the years to come, that you're super excited about in terms of real estate?
I think just, I don't know, I've been growing my business, just letting it, seeing where it goes. I don't think that, I think this year I made like already half of what I made the whole year last year.
It happens.
So hopefully, more income. And also just, like learning to grow my business, my brand, and also just the support we get here has been really great, because I think a lot of other places don't have it, and being able to like come into a team and not really have anything to start up a business, like not having the capital, the income to do it, and being able to build it, because Dag literally says, Afro and Dean are like, here you go, you need signs, here you go,
right,
you need somewhere to work, here you go, I need Wi-Fi, here you go, paper, machine, printer, here you go,
everything,
like
Oprah, just give us everything,
just take it and then pay us back later, like that's like that has been a big deal for me.
I agree, and it's funny. I have these conversations with people all the time, and hearing what they get charged, like even when they're not producing, and kind of hearing an older style way of real estate relations in terms of like how agencies are run. It's tough. We definitely don't know how good we have it. I do, because of what I hear from other people, but for the majority of the team, it's kind of one of those things. You know how good something is till it's no longer there. Where you don't realize what you have until it's gone, and I think that sometimes comes a rude awakening to a lot of people, that not necessarily people that just leave our team, or people that kind of just bounce around, because obviously everyone needs to find their home and find what works for them. And we're glad that you found your home.
Thanks.
At least for the time being.
Yeah, no, I think I have. I think the other day I said that to somebody, and then Afro was in the back. She's like, you better not be leaving. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. I was just like, this is all I know, So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all I know too, and there's probably like 6 or 7 of us on the team out of over 120 people. That DAG is all we know. But I think that's a testament to the fact that I don't need to know anything else.
Yeah.
I personally have a perfect setup here. They're like an older brother or sister, and then it's all family.
Yeah.
And we're all here for each other. So being able to bring on people like yourself to just kind of compound on top of that family effect is amazing. And that's why I enjoy it so much. And then I get to do shit like this and create a podcast.
Yeah, that's fun.
So it's super fun. In terms of your journey, right? A different lifestyle before real estate, totally different life, and obviously, post career changes. Obviously, you have a 3-year-old, you have a husband at home, and kind of taking real estate by the reins. Looking back at 18-year-old Jackie, sitting down with her in front of me right now, what is some kind of advice you would give her based on what you've been through so far?
I was never like a rule. I've always been like a rule follower.
Okay.
I've never like done a lot of adventuring, I guess you could say. But I think that I would just tell 18-year-old Jackie to like think logically a little bit more, because I think I've always, again, my biggest issue is my emotions. So like I've always led with that, and I think that if there's anything I can say, just like stop for a second and think about what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, and it's a different perspective, right? And here's what I always say: I always try to play devil's advocate. I say it a lot on Thursdays: is everyone has a superpower.
Yeah.
And I think for somebody like yourself, I think your emotions are your superpower, because it's led you to become who you are and get to where you are. So I always like to look at the other side of things, because sure, we can look back and say, I wish I would have done X, Y, Z, but how many times can we look back and say, I wish something was different, to where our lives would be completely different now? Yeah. So I think for you, leaning into your emotions is definitely a superpower for you, with your ability to adapt, which you've been able to handle analytical driver clients, where a typical emotional personality will cave. And you don't cave at the sign of that, because you are getting outside your comfort zone. So just watching you learn and grow over the last 6 to 8 months, it's been amazing, because your emotions are actually your superpower. And I think that's kind of what helped you get to where you are now.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Of course, for sure. So there's a couple things I want to get into, but is there anything that you want to highlight or talk about?
Not really. I'm just kind of going off of you.
How do you feel it's going so far?
It's okay. I feel like I don't know what to say to like, what would I give my 18-year-old self, because I just don't.
But that's the point, right? The goal is not the script, not to know what to say.
Yeah.
So make you think and be authentic, because you're being real, right? Now, it's not like we just do one episode and you're done.
Yeah.
When we come back and talk, it's not going to be the same format. it's going to be a different style of Q&A.
Yeah.
Based on we can build topics around each individual, right? So this was really just a matter of getting like the jitters out.
Okay.
And so in your first 6 to 8 months, and I typically ask everyone this because some people have breaking points, some people have points where like, fuck, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a moment in real estate where you're like, shit, this might not be it for me?
Every day for the first 6 months.
Elaborate on that. Tell me a little bit about that whole process and adapting.
It was hard because you don't see the results right away. Mm-hmm. And I've always been like, I'm not the kind of person, I'm an instant gratification person. So like I want things done and I want it now. I want to go work out for a week and see that I lost 20 pounds, that kind of thing. And having to learn, and by the way, I started working out like 2 months ago.
Love that for you.
Yeah, it's been slow, but it's okay.
Delayed gratification is everything.
But that's the thing is like, I feel like doing real estate made me realize that like, I have to just tell myself like, okay, just keep going. Just keep going, just keep going. It's gonna come, it's gonna come, it's gonna come, it's gonna come. And then finally after the 6 months seeing the results, it's like, okay, like I can also work out and eventually it'll come out. And it's only been 2 months, but I mean, what I'm saying is like the results do come. It's a matter of just keep pushing. And so I don't think I thought I could do that because I tried to give up. I did want to give up like a lot, like in the first few months because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted.
I know you were about to, and that's why I wanted to ask because I know there was shadow of that back, a few months ago.
Yeah.
And you've been crushing it since, right? I know you had that turning point where like things just kind of switched.
Yeah.
And it's a momentum game.
Yeah.
It's a game. Life is a momentum game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life isn't always going to be easy. It's not always going to be smooth sailing, and it's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to make you grow, just like every different industry.
Yeah.
Real estate, especially when you're relying on that next transactions.
Yeah.
But you can't think about the transaction. You have to think about the people that you're helping.
Mm-hmm.
And delayed gratification is so important in life, right? And I don't think just real estate. And it's something that I've practiced the last couple of years is delayed gratification and patience has been the most important thing to me, other than just being at peace with like who I am, where I'm at in life, where I want to go, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So when you look at, the patience of things, it's really going to help mold you into an exponential person, not only in real estate, but also life.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants that Amazon lifestyle, or they want it delivered tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody that's been in the fitness for 18 years, it's never the case.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that I don't want to say it doesn't get easier, because it does the longer you go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more enjoyable and fulfilling. Because when you see those results, you want to go that much harder.
Exactly.
And I think that's with what you've hit the last couple of months, that momentum, you've seen it shift.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wow, I want to see how much further I can go.
Yeah.
And we all hit that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting to see that turn, because there are those people where they hit the turn and they turn back.
Yeah.
And then they're off to their 9 to 5 that they hated before.
Yeah, and honestly, like I did think about going 9 to 5, but I keep coming back to like my why of like, why did I start doing this? And the main thing is like my flexibility and being able to be home with my son during the week. So like I have to focus on that. And yeah, like I'm seeing results now finally after those first 6 months of nothing. But like I've also had people tell me too, like I was in it for over a year and didn't get a sale until after a year.
Well, maybe they should have joined DAG.
I know, literally. I know. But it's crazy because I think I'm thinking I'm slow, but to other people, like they're like, wow, like you already have that. You know what I mean? So
perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective is everything, and it goes back to something that I'm a big believer on is when the why is clear, the how becomes easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that how is just consistency, repetition, discipline, and patience.
Yeah.
It really drives everything. And when you don't have that and you lose it, then everything else becomes uncertain. And that's when your judgment becomes cloudy. You have to adjust your focus, and there's a lot of mistakes you can make because you're thinking an innate reaction instead of like a logical response. Which, to your point, being a little bit more logical in your response to thinking has allowed you to get to where you are now.
Yeah, and honestly, like also I'm very like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I already told a bunch of people I was doing this, so I was like, I can't back out now.
There's no going back.
Yeah, like if I back out now, then like everybody's just gonna make fun of me. So
correct me if I'm wrong. You gave yourself a 6 months timeline. You and Fabio had a conversation about 6 months, right?
He said 6 to 9 months to get your first check. And so like I was, desperate and getting to the point where I was like, you know what, like after these 6 months, like I'm done. My husband's like, just wait the 9 months. He said 6 to 9 months. So he's like, after the 9 months, we really need you to go work. So, okay. But then finally, like after the 6-month mark, July, from January to July, is when I closed my first. And I closed 3 at the same time. So I was like, woo-hoo.
3 checks in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
3 transactions.
Yeah, 3 transactions.
And that's super important, having that supportive partner at home, that voice in your ear to keep going.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah, he's been really great and very patient. So yeah, I appreciate him a lot.
I love that for you. That's
Thanks.
amazing. One thing we like to highlight, right? Obviously, we can't have a Dag Life podcast without talking about Dag Life,
Of course.
and without talking about legacy.
Uh-huh.
And legacy is something super important that we talk about here, and
Mhm.
something that's different to everyone.
Mhm.
Family, kids, lifestyle, what they want to leave behind. When you think about Jackie down the road and your legacy for your life and your family, and when all is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as somebody who keeps their word, who like actually does what they say they're gonna do. As somebody who put their family first, and also I'm very active in my religion, and I really want to be known as somebody that was faithful to God first and foremost.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Thank you.
Powerful. I love that. That's a great high note to end on.
Thanks.
Well, I appreciate you for joining. Obviously, I know it's the first time on the Dag Life podcast. I'm excited to have you back.
Thanks. I'm excited too.
Thank you. Thank you guys for checking out another episode of Dag Life podcast. See you soon.